Good morning, boys. How are you today? I hope you are doing great. Welcome to our phonics class for today. Antonyms. Okay, what do we mean by antonyms? Antonyms are words that opposite or nearly the opposite meaning. That means when we have two words and they give us the opposite of each other. For example, big. What is the opposite of big? It is little or small, yeah? Right, what is the opposite? It is left. And what about open? What is the opposite of open? It is closed. So this is antonyms. Antonyms, word that give us the opposite of the meaning. If I give you big and I told you give me the antonyms of big, it is what? Little or small. What about if I give you right and I want you to tell me the antonyms of right? You are going to tell me left. So this is what do we mean by antonyms. Antonyms are words that have the opposite or nearly the opposite meaning, okay? That means words that give us the opposite of each. Let's make this exercise together in page 223 so we can really understand the word. You have words in the box and they want us to fill it, okay? So they give us the word cold and they want us to give us the antonyms. That means the opposite. What is the opposite of cold? It is what? Hot. So cold and hot are antonyms. Why? Because they give us the opposite of each other. Okay? What about awake? If I say this boy is awake, the antonyms of awake is asleep. So antonyms, awake and sleep are antonyms because they are giving us the opposite of each other. What about right? What is the opposite of right? Left. So this is the antonyms. Okay, what about the next word go? What is the antonyms? Stop. What about little? What is the antonyms? Big. So all these words that we have in the slides in front of us are antonyms. Why? Because they are giving us the opposite of each other. The opposite of cold is what? It's hot. The opposite of awake is asleep. The opposite of right is left. The opposite of go, stop. The opposite of little, it is what? Big. Okay, what about the opposite of over? This cat is over the desk, for example. What is the opposite? This cat is under the desk, okay? What about frown? Do you know what they mean by frown? Frown means word. This boy is a frown, that means he doesn't smile. So what is the opposite of frown? Smile. Okay, so frown, a boy who doesn't smile. The opposite is smile. What about sink? Do you know sink? I put the pencil in the water and it sink inside. Okay, what is the opposite? It is float. I put the cube in the water, but it float up. So sink and float are antonyms because they give us the opposite of each other. What about close? What is the opposite of close? It is what? Open. So all these words that we have in the slide in front of us are antonyms because they are giving us the opposite of each other. So over, under, sink, float, close, open, little, big. A lot of words that we can give as antonyms. For example, tall, short, fat, thin. All these words are antonyms because they are giving us the opposite of each. Okay, I want to play a game with you guys. Okay, so we say that antonyms, words that give us the opposite of each other. Okay, so I give you three words, and I want you to put the opposite inside the three in the box. For example, we have tall, big, and short. Give me the antonyms here in tall, big, and short. Do it by yourself, and then I will appear the answer in the board for you guys. And we have huge, tiny, and large. I want you to give me the antonyms of these three. Okay, I will count in my head for 5 and I will appear it in the board. So I want you to put two antonyms inside the box. Tall, big, and short. What are the antonyms? I'm starting counting in my head. Till 5 only, grade 1. So did you know the antonyms? Tall, big, short. The antonyms are tall and short. Because we have the opposite of tall, which is short. Is it the opposite of tall, big? No. So the opposite or the antonyms, tall and short, because they are giving us the antonyms. They are giving us the opposite of each other. Okay? What about huge, tiny, and large? I'm counting to 5 also. So huge, tiny, and large. Huge, tiny, and large. What are the antonyms in it? Huge, tiny, and large. Give me two words that give us the opposite of each other. What are they? They are huge and tiny. Okay, the opposite of huge is tiny. Are huge and large opposite? No, they give us the same. So they are synonyms. So what about huge and tiny? Are they antonyms? No. So huge and tiny are what? Antonyms. Huge and tiny are antonyms because they're giving us the opposite of each other, okay? So this is a revision so we can make it together. This week we take antonyms, words that give us the opposite like stand and sit. They are antonyms because they are giving us the opposite. What about the last week? You talk about synonyms, words that give us the same meaning. Friends and paths, the same word, so they are synonyms. House and home, synonyms because they are giving us the same meaning. What about huge and large? The same meaning. So these are antonyms, words that give us the opposite meaning. Synonyms, words that give us the same meaning, okay? And I want you to make a homework for me at page 223. You have a box down, okay? You have happy. What is the antonyms of happy? Is it good, glad, or sad? Clean. What is the antonyms? The opposite. Water, wash, or dirty. Lost. What is the antonyms? Is it gone, found, or under? The last one, front. What is the antonyms? Back, door, or top. Okay, so do it and picture it for me, please, grade 1. And this is our lesson for today, inshallah. See you in next class, grade 1.